2 Chronicles chapter 1. Solomon, David's son, was totally rising into his royal glow-up, and guess what? The Lord his God was totally with him, amping up his vibe to the max. Then Solomon gathered all the big-time players in Israel, the captains, the judges, the governors, and the tribal fam leaders, for like a full squad meeting. And the whole crew, led by Solomon, road-tripped it to Gibeon. Because that's where Moses, the Lord's legendary roadie, set up the original holy tent in the wilderness. But David had already moved the Ark of God to this cute lil tent he set up in Jerusalem. He had totally prepped a homey space for it. Oh, and don't forget, there was this epic bronze altar made by Bezaleel, that artsy dude, Uri's son, his grandson. That beauty was right in front of the tabernacle, and Solomon plus squad were drawn to it like moths to a divine flame. Solomon went up there and totally laid down 1,000 burnt offerings on the altar. That's 1,000, bro, full send. That night, the Lord popped into Solomon's dreams like, "Hey dude, what can I do for ya? Ask away." Divine DM, major chills. And Solomon was all like, "Oh and God, you were so kind to my dad David, and now I'm king in his sandals. That's major. So, could you make that promise to my dad stick? 'Cause you made me king over this massive crowd that's basically dust level uncountable. And could I get some wisdom and knowledge, pretty please? 'Cause leading this many people is no chill task. Who else could even handle it?" And God said, "Solomon, bro, I saw what was on your heart, and it's totally righteous. You didn't beg for bling, power, revenge, or eternal beach days. You just wanted wisdom and brainy vibes to lead my people. Major respect. So here's the deal," God continued. "You get the wisdom and knowledge upgrade, plus I'm throwing in riches, glam, and glory like no king has ever had before, or ever will, to be honest. You're about to be iconic." Then Solomon cruised back down from the high place at Gibeon to his royal HQ in Jerusalem, right after the Holy Tabernacle moment. And boom, he was officially ruling Israel like a boss. King Solomon went full-on horsepower mode. He collected 1,400 chariots and had 12,000 horse brothers. He parked them in his chariot towns and kept a fleet close by in J-Town. And get this, Solomon made silver and gold so common in Jerusalem, it was ugh, another silver rock? Meh. And cedar trees? As basic as backyard sycamores. He even had horses imported straight from Egypt, along with super fancy linen yarn. The king's merch crew snagged it all at top-tier rates. Chariots cost 600 silver coins, and horses ran 150 each. Solomon's crew were the plug for all the kings of the Hittites and Syria too, international dealership status. 2 Chronicles chapter 2. So Solomon was super stoked to build a house for the big guy upstairs, the Lord, and also a swanky palace for his own kingly chill zone. He rounded up 70,000 dudes to carry heavy stuff, 80,000 more to carve out stone in the mountains, and 3,600 bros to be the project managers. Total boss move. Then Solomon slid into Huram's DMs, the king of Tyre, and was like, "Hey, you helped my dad David with cedar wood for his crib, so can we make that magic happen again? I'm totally building this epic temple for the name of the Lord my God, gonna burn sweet incense, have 24/7 holy bread service, and offer burnt vibes every morning, evening, Sabbath, and party day. It's forever policy for Israel. The house I'm building? Oh honey, it's gonna be massive, 'cause our God? Way more awesome than all the other wannabe gods. But real talk, how can I build a house for the one who fills all the heavens and then some? I mean, who am I even? I'm just here trying to build a place to burn some holy stuff in his honor. So, can you send me a dude who's mega talented in gold, silver, bronze, iron, and threads in purple, crimson, and blue? Oh, and he should totally be able to engrave and vibe with the crew my dad hired in Judah and Jerusalem. Also, I'll need cedar, fir, and algum trees from Lebanon, 'cause I know your lumberjack squad is elite. My guys will totally collab with yours, no problem. We gotta prep tons of timber, because this house I'm building? It's gonna be insanely awesome. And I'm not just asking without tipping the crew, I'll hook your workers up with 20,000 measures of wheat, 20,000 of barley, plus 20,000 baths of wine and oil. Basically, a feast. Huram, the king of Tyre, wrote Solomon back and was like, "Bro, the Lord is super into your people. He made you king, 'cause he loves them for real." Then Huram went on, "Major blessings to the Lord, the God of Israel. He crafted the heavens and the earth. And he gifted your dad David this wise, sharp-minded son, you man, to build a rad temple for God and a palace for your own royal hangouts. So here's the deal. I'm sending you a super-skilled artisan, a genius like my pops. This guy's mom is from Dan, and his dad's a Tyrian pro. He totally slays it with gold, silver, bronze, iron, stone, timber, and all the designer fabrics, purple, blue, crimson, you name it. He can engrave anything and invent wild stuff too. He'll vibe with your crew and the elite squad your dad set up. Now about the wheat, barley, wine, and oil you mentioned. Yep, send those over to fuel our crew. We'll handle the wood, Lebanon trees, all you need. We'll raft it down the sea to Joppa, then you guys can cart it up to Jerusalem. Smooth delivery, no prob. Meanwhile, Solomon ran a census check and tallied up all the foreigners living in Israel, just like his dad David did, and came up with 153,600 people. Then he assigned 70,000 to do the heavy lifting, 80,000 to be mountain lumberjacks, and 3,600 to supervise and keep things flowing. Total construction squad goals. 2 Chronicles chapter 3. Solomon finally kicked off the major project, building the Lord's epic hangout spot in Jerusalem, right on Mount Moriah. It's where God once totally appeared to his dad, David. David had already scoped the perfect spot, a chill threshing floor owned by Ornan the Jebusite. Vibes were totally divine. Construction started on day 2 of month 2 during year 4 of Solomon's reign. Mark it down, it was a milestone moment. Here's the specs God laid out. The holy house was 60 cubits long and 20 wide, using the OG measuring standard. Legit proportions for sacred architecture. The front porch? It matched the width, 20 cubits, and soared 120 cubits high. Solomon blinged it out on the inside with pure gold. Next-level glam. The main house was decked out with fir wood ceilings gold-covered and had palm tree designs and sweet chain patterns. Like a heavenly tiki lounge, but fancy. And OMG, he added precious stones everywhere, just for beauty's sake. The gold? Straight from Parv Ain, aka the luxury line of heaven's decor. Gold everywhere. Walls, beams, doors, posts, all of it. Even carved little cherub angels on the walls. It was like gold met glory in the best way. Then came the VIP section, the most holy place. It was a perfect square, 20 by 20 cubits decked out in fine gold. 600 talents worth. That's baller-level holy space. Even the nails? Solid gold. They weighed 50 shekels each. The upstairs? You guessed it, gold-coated too. Solomon didn't miss anything. In that ultra-holy room, he sculpted 2 cherubim angels with some seriously artistic flair, then wrapped them in gold too. Basically, it was sparkle and awe all around. So the wings on these angel statues, cherubims, were massive, dude. Total wingspan of 20 cubits. One wing from the first cherub stretched 5 cubits and hit the wall, while the other wing reached out and high-fived the wing of the second cherub. Same thing for the second cherub, one wing reached the opposite wall, and the other one connected midair with the first cherub's wing. Perfect celestial symmetry. So rad. Their wings spread out 20 cubits wide, and they were standing tall, totally grounded, feet planted. And their faces? Locked inward, focused and fierce. Major holy energy. Then Solomon whipped up this totally gorgeous veil. It had blue, purple, crimson, and fancy linen threads. And yep, cherubims were woven right in. Fashion meets faith, for sure. And don't forget the entrance vibes. He put up 2 massive pillars, 35 cubits tall. Then topped them off with 5-cubit high caps. Talk about making a statement. He even added decorative chains like bling for the pillars, just like the ones in the oracle setup. Then, get this, he hung 100 pomegranates on those chains. A fruity fashion moment. Finally, he raised those fab pillars in front of the temple, one to the right, one to the left. He named the right one Jachin, like he establishes, so deep, and the left one Boaz, in him is strength. Total power pillar realness. 2 Chronicles chapter 4. So Solomon totally crafted this massive bronze altar, 20 cubits long and wide, and 10 cubits high. It was the ultimate barbecue zone for offerings. Then he made this huge molten sea. Think giant hot tub vibes, 10 cubits from edge to edge, perfectly round, 5 cubits tall, and wrapped in a 30-cubit circle. Divine bath energy. Underneath, there were these ox statues all around, 10 per cubit, all the way around the sea. 2 whole rows of bronze bovine brilliance cast with the tub. Moving craftsmanship, bro. The whole thing sat on 12 gnarly oxen, 3 facing each direction, north, south, east, west. And the sea? It was chillin' on top of them while their booties faced inward. Total symmetry. The sea's walls were thick, like a handbreadth, and the rim had major goblet with lily flower design vibes. It could hold 3,000 baths. That's a lot of holy water, babe. Solomon also made 10 washing stations, 5 on the right, 5 on the left. These were for rinsing the sacrifice stuff, but the molten sea was strictly VIP for the priests to freshen up. Then he whipped up 10 gold candlesticks, totally fab, following the original design. He placed 5 on each side of the temple, just the right balance of glow and glam. And 10 tables too, 5 to the right, 5 to the left. Plus, he crafted 100 golden basins. Bling bling yo. He didn't stop there. He made this huge courtyard for the priests, and a mega outer court, complete with bronze-covered doors. Even the entrances were flexin'. That sea? Yeah, he positioned it to the southeast corner, totally aesthetic, like temple feng shui done right. And Huram? He crushed it. He made all the sacred utensils, pots, shovels, and basins. The guy nailed his assignment and totally wrapped up the temple gear for Solomon's divine crib. There were these 2 mega pillars with super cute pommels and fancy top caps, chapiters, right? And they had these artsy wreath thingies that wrapped around the pommels to glam things up at the top. Total temple decor goals. And get this, there were 400 pomegranates. Yeah, like 2 rows of those juicy lil designs on each wreath, surrounding the tops of the pillars. Fruity fashion statements for God's crib. Solomon didn't stop there. He had bases made for the wash bowls, lavers, and they were totally functional and fabulous. Oh, and the iconic molten sea? Yep, still sittin' on those 12 chill oxen, holding it down like the legends they are. Huram's dad went all out, crafting pots, shovels, meat hooks, and all the tools, shiny and bright, all in brilliant bronze, made especially for Solomon's temple party for the Lord. These bad boys were cast out in the Jordan flatlands, between Sukkot and Zeradatha, right in the clay ground. Earth meets holy hardware. Solomon made so many temple items, it was like, who even has time to weigh this much bronze? It was abundance overload. He also decked out the sacred space with all the holy essentials, like the golden altar and tables where they served up the showbread. Heavenly buffet vibes, anyone? And he added golden candlesticks with their lamps, perfect for glowing vibes before the sacred spot called the oracle. Straight up, pure gold. Everything was blinged out. Flowers, lamps, and even the golden tongs. It wasn't just gold, it was that perfect gold. Solomon said, only the best for the big guy. Oh, and it gets shinier, snuffers, basins, spoons, and incense burners, all made of pure gold. Even the inner temple doors and the entryway were golden. The whole place? Total royal glow-up. 2 Chronicles chapter 5. All the epic construction work for God's house? Totally done, bro. Solomon brought in all the rad treasures that his dad, King David, had set aside, like silver, gold, and a bunch of sacred gear, and stashed them in the divine treasure room of God's pad. Then Solomon said, time to party with purpose. So he called up the elders, the tribal leaders, and all the big-deal father figures of Israel to come to Jerusalem and help move the legendary Ark of the Covenant from the city of David, Zion. And boom, Everyone rolled in during the big feast in the 7th month. Major squad energy. The VIPs, the elders, showed up, and the Levites totally took charge of carrying the ark. Like, no worries, we got this. They brought up the ark, the OG tabernacle, and all the sacred accessories that had serious holy vibes. The priests and Levites tag-teamed the whole setup, total teamwork. And Solomon and the whole crew of Israel gathered in front of the ark and went full-on extra with sacrifices. Like sheep and oxen everywhere, so many they literally couldn't even count them. Total gratitude overload. The priests carried the Ark of the Covenant into its final chill spot, right in the most holy place of the temple, under the massive golden wings of the cherubim. VIP section for the divine. Those majestic cherubim had their wings stretched out over the ark, like celestial guardians covering it and its poles from above. Talk about heavenly style. They pulled the poles out of the ark just enough so you could totally see the ends sticking out from the front of the inner sanctuary, but not from outside. And it's still there to this day. Super legendary. Inside the ark? Just the 2 stone tablets Moses tucked in back at Horeb when God made that awesome covenant with the Israelites after they pieced out of Egypt. Holy flashback vibes. And when the priests cruised out of the most holy place, all of them were totally sanctified, BTW. They weren't even on a set schedule. Just pure holy spontaneity. Plus, the Levite choir squad was fire. You had all the singers, Asaph's crew, Heman's fam, Jeduthun's gang, decked out in crisp white linen, rockin' cymbals, harps, and stringy instruments. And don't forget the 120 trumpet-blowing priests. It was a full-on God concert, East Stage. And then, boom, they all harmonized in perfect praise, lifting their voices with the trumpets, cymbals, and every groovy instrument, singing, "He is so good. His mercy is forever." And just like that, the whole temple filled with a cloud. God's presence rolled in like the ultimate divine fog machine. It got so thick in there that the priests couldn't even stand up to do their thing. Like, the glory of the Lord had totally filled the place. Full-on holy vibes, bro. 2 Chronicles chapter 6. So Solomon said, the Lord said he'd totally vibe in the thick cloud, deep mystery mode, bro. But I built this rad pad for you, Lord, a forever home with major divine aesthetics. Then the king turned to the crowd, the whole squad of Israel, and gave them this mega blessing while they all stood up, totally respectful-like. He was all, major props to the Lord, the God of Israel, who made big promises to my dad David and totally followed through, like hand to mouth, for real. Back when he brought the crew out of Egypt, God didn't pick a single city or a single dude to rule his people or host his name. But then he was like, boom, I choose Jerusalem for my name drop, and David to lead the party. So yeah, my dad David had it super in his heart to build a house for God's name. He was totally vibing on that mission. But God said, okay David, I see your heart, and that's super sweet. You didn't build it, but I feel the love. And then he said, your son, yup, that's you, Solomon, is gonna be the one to actually build the crib for me. So here I am, guys. God totally came through, and now I'm king in my dad's place, just like the Lord said. And boom, I built the house. Mission complete. I even put the ark in there, the one with the covenant, that epic deal God made with the Israelites. Then Solomon stood at the altar of the Lord, right in front of the whole squad, stretched out his hands like, let's go, ready to get his prayer on. Solomon built this totally legit bronze stage, 5 cubits by 5 cubits and 3 cubits tall, and he set it right in the middle of the courtyard. He climbed up there, dropped to his knees in front of the whole crew of Israel, and stretched out his hands to the sky, all reverent and stuff. And he was like, "Oh Lord, God of Israel, you're totally unmatched. There's no one in the heavens or on earth like you. You always keep your promises and show mad love to those who walk with you, heart and soul. You totally came through for my dad David, just like you said you would. You spoke it, then you did it. Mouth to hand, all accomplished. We love a follow-through moment. Now, Lord God of Israel, keep vibing with what you promised Dad, saying, there will always be someone from your line chillin' on the throne of Israel if they stay locked into your ways like David did. So yeah, God, let's make it official. Let your word be totally confirmed, just like you told my pops. But like, for real, can the creator of the universe actually live on Earth with humans? I mean, even the highest heavens can't handle all your glory, so how could this house I built even come close? Still, could you please tune in to the prayers of your humble servant, Lord my God? I'm down here, pouring my heart out, so please hear me out. Keep your eyes on this place, day and night, the one you said you'd put your name on. And when I'm praying toward this house, please catch every word. So yeah, when I or your people pray in this direction, listen from your heavenly HQ, and when you hear us, please forgive. Like, seriously, grace us up. If someone totally wrongs their neighbor and they gotta make a gnarly oath right here at your altar, then, oh Lord, hear it loud and clear from your heavenly surf shack, judge fairly. If someone's being wicked, let it bounce back on him. But if they're the real deal, bless them according to their righteous vibes. And if your people totally wipe out against their enemies, cause they blew it and sinned against you, but then come running back, owning their mess and praying at this house, then please, Lord, hear them from above and forgive the squad. Bring them back to the epic land you promised their ancestors. And like, if you hold back the rain, total bummer. Cause of their sin, but they get it together, pray toward this place, drop your name, and turn from their mess-ups, cause you're nudging them. Then, for real, hear them from heaven, forgive them, and show them the righteous wave to ride. Bless the land you gave them, it's their inheritance. And if things go totally sideways, like no food, plagues, sketchy mildew, bug invasions, or enemies crash in their cities, or whatever sickness or bad vibe hits them, then when anyone, or like everyone, feels the sting and they come here with hands lifted, praying out their pain, tune in from your heavenly HQ, forgive them, and give each person what they need based on what's really in their heart. Cause like, you're the only one who totally gets the human heart. That way, they'll have holy respect for you and walk in your chill ways for as long as they hang in this land you gifted our four dudes. Oh, and even if it's a total outsider, like not part of Team Israel, but they cruise in from far away, cause they heard about your epic name and rad power, and they come here to pray. Lord, if someone from way out of town, who's not even part of the squad, calls out to you from this epic temple, please hear them from your heavenly crib and totally show up for them. That way, all the peeps on earth will know your awesome name, respect you like Israel does, and know this rad house is stamped with your divine label. And like, if your people head into battle, sent by you, and they stop to pray toward this city you picked, plus this house I built for you, then please hear them from the heavens and totally back them up. Be their divine hype squad. Now, if they mess up, and let's be real, who doesn't slip up, and you get righteously bummed and let their enemies haul them off far or near, but then they come to their senses in that foreign land and they're like, dude, we majorly blew it. Our bad. And start praying to you with legit hearts. If they really mean it and pray toward their homeland, the land you gave our OG ancestors, and look toward this sacred city and house with hearts wide open, then please, from your heavenly hangout, hear their cry, back them up, and forgive them for all the gnarly stuff they did. And now, oh my God, please keep your eyes wide open and your ears tuned in to the prayers pouring out from this place. So rise up, Lord God, and cruise into your chill zone with the Ark of Power. Let your priests be decked out in salvation style, and let your holy peeps party in pure goodness. And Lord, please don't turn away from your chosen one. Like, remember all the mercy and promises you made to your dude David. 2 Chronicles chapter 7. As soon as Solomon wrapped up his super heartfelt prayer, boom, fire literally dropped from the sky and torched the offerings. And the whole temple lit up with God's glory like whoa. It was so insanely full of God's presence, the priests were like, nope, we can't even go in there. Too much glory. Major holy vibes. And when the whole squad of Israel saw the fire show and the divine glow on the house, they totally face-planted on the pavement in full-on worship mode, praising God like, He's totally good. His mercy? Like, forever and ever. Then King Solomon and all the people were like, let's go big, and they started offering up sacrifices to the Lord. And no joke, Solomon sacrificed 22,000 oxen and 120,000 sheep. That's a whole fluffy herd. The people and the king went all in to dedicate God's house. The priests handled their holy biz, and the Levites were jamming with the Lord's instruments, the ones King David had made for vibing out praises. The whole "His mercy endures forever" thing was like their anthem. Trumpets blared, and Israel stood up in awe. Solomon even blessed the center court, turning it into a pop-up altar for the overflow sacrifices, because his original altar was maxed out. Too much sacred barbecue, not enough space. At the same time, Solomon threw this epic 7-day feast with everyone, like from way up in Hamath down to the river in Egypt. Total crowd surf of holiness. On day 8, they had this super serious but still celebratory assembly, wrapping up 7 days of altar dedication plus 7 days of feasting. 14 days of holy partying. On the 23rd day of the 7th month, Solomon finally sent the people home, and everyone was feeling major joy and good vibes for all the awesome stuff the Lord had done for David, Solomon, and the whole crew of Israel. And just like that, Solomon totally nailed it. He finished the Lord's temple and his own palace. Everything he dreamed up for both places? Total success. Like, mission accomplished with extra sparkle. God totally showed up to Solomon in the middle of the night and was like, "Hey dude, I totally heard your prayer, and guess what? This place? Yeah, I'm claiming it. My personal hangout for sacrifice vibes. If I ever close up the skies so there's no rain, or send in a gnarly locust swarm, or drop some plague drama on the people. But then my peeps, you know, the ones rockin' my name, if they humble themselves, hit me up in prayer, and seriously chase after me instead of bad choices? Oh honey, you bet I'll hear them from heaven, forgive the mess, and like heal their land. Full divine glow up. From now on, my eyes are wide open and my ears? Tuned in, babe, ready for all the prayers from this rad spot. I've chosen this house, sanctified it with all the holy sparkle, and slapped my name on it forever. My eyes and my heart? Yeah, they're gonna be here 24/7, for all time. And as for you, Solomon, if you walk the walk like your dad David did, follow all my vibes and obey the stuff I laid out for ya, then I'll totally keep your royal throne rockin', just like I promised David, no empty throne moments, okay? But if you or your crew start ghosting my commands and ditch me for lame knockoff gods, then sorry not sorry, I'm yanking y'all out of this land, and this super holy house I blessed, I'll chuck it out of my sight. It'll be the punchline of international gossip. This place, which is the ultimate holy flex, is gonna leave people shook. Walking by, they'll be like, "Oh nee, what even happened here?" And the tea will be, they dumped the Lord, the same one who rescued them from Egypt, and instead started simping for bogus gods. So yeah, God had to drop the hammer. 2 Chronicles chapter 8. After 20 totally epic years of Solomon building God's rad house and his own palace pad, the dude finally wrapped it all up. And those cities that Huram gave back to him? Solomon said, "Let's fix 'em up." So he rebuilt them and had the Israelites move in, new neighborhood vibes, you know? Then Solomon took a little road trip up to Hamath-Zobah, and boom, he totally crushed it and claimed the place. He built up Tadmor way out in the desert, yeah, desert oasis style, plus he stocked up supply cities in Hamath like a king with major Costco energy. Oh, and don't forget Bethron, up high and down low. He made those cities super fortified with thick walls, gates, and like major security bars. Also Baalath and all his supply cities, chariot hangouts, horseman zones, and basically anything else he dreamed up across Jerusalem, Lebanon, and the whole kingdom. If Solomon wanted it, he built it, no questions asked. Now, as for the leftover folks, the Hittites, Amorites, Perizzites, Hivites, and Jebusites, not Israelites, but still chillin' in the land. Solomon didn't wipe them out, but instead had them paying tribute taxes. You live here, you chip in. And that was still going on even to this day. But the Israelites? Nah, he didn't put them on servant duty. They were the muscle, his warriors, squad leaders, and the total bosses over chariots and horses. Only A-list roles for them. King Solomon had this squad of 250 top-tier officers, and they were totally in charge, like the ultimate team leads ruling over all the people. And get this, Solomon moved Pharaoh's daughter out of the city of David into this super glam palace he built just for her. He said, "No offense, babe, but the old house is sacred, 'cause that's where the ark hung out. Too holy for just regular livin'." Then Solomon started offering up those burnt offerings on the Lord's altar he built right in front of the porch, front row worship realness. He kept the vibe daily, totally on schedule, just like Moses laid out. Sabbaths, new moons, and all the iconic feasts, unleavened bread, weeks, and tabernacles, he hit every holy party on the calendar. He also lined up the priests and Levites, just like his dad David planned it. Everyone had a job. Some were hyping up praise, others handled the gates. Team God was running like a well-oiled praise machine. Nobody messed with the king's orders, not the priests, not the Levites. Everyone stuck to the plan, including keeping track of all the sacred bling and treasures. From the first stone to the final sparkle, Solomon's crew stayed on point. The Lord's house? Yeah, it was totally finished and flawless. Major holy makeover complete. Then Solomon took a beach trip to Eziongeber and Elath, right there on the coast in Edom. Little sea breeze moment. Huram, being the total dude that he is, sent some ships and sea-savvy dudes to team up with Solomon's crew. They cruised to Ophir, snagged 450 talents of pure gold, bling alert, and brought it all back to King Solomon. 2 Chronicles chapter 9. The Queen of Sheba totally heard all the buzz about Solomon, major fame vibes, so she rolled up to Jerusalem with a whole squad and camels packed with spicy spices, loads of gold, and sparkly gems. She wanted to test Solomon with deep questions and lay her heart out, you know? And Solomon? He was a total brainiac. He answered everything she threw at him. Nothing was too tough or hidden. Dude was basically Google. When the queen saw his mega wisdom and his dreamy palace, and the gourmet food, his squad all perfectly seated, the ministers totally styled, the cupbearers serving with flair, and even how he walked up to the Lord's house, girl was shook. Like, she literally lost her breath. She said, "Okay, wow, it's totally true what I heard back home about your epic deeds and next-level wisdom. But like, I didn't even believe it till I saw it with my own eyes. And OMG, not even half the hype did you justice. You're way more fab than the rumors. Your people must be so stoked. And your servants? Lucky, they get to hang around and soak in your wisdom every day. Big shout out to the Lord your God, 'cause he clearly adores you. He put you on the throne to rule for him, 'cause he's all about Israel being set up forever. You're like Justice King vibes." Then she dropped off some jaw-dropping gifts, 120 talents of gold, bling bling, tons of divine-smelling spices, and precious gems galore. Honestly, the land had never seen spices that exotic. Meanwhile, Huram's crew and Solomon's crew brought in even more gold from Ophir, plus these super rare algum trees and gems. Major treasure haul, bro. And Solomon said, "Let's do something rad with these, and turn the algum wood into lit terraces for God's house and his palace, plus some sweet harps and stringed instruments for the worship band." Judah had never seen anything that dope before. King Solomon totally spoiled Queen Sheba. He gave her everything she wanted, no questions asked. Like, gifts on gifts, beyond what she even brought. Then she and her glam crew rode off back to her homeland, all satisfied and sparkly. And get this, every single year, Solomon was raking in 666 talents of gold. Like, major bling season every season. And that didn't even include the fancy stuff traders and merchants brought. All the kings from Arabia and the VIPs of nearby lands were basically like, "Here's more gold and silver, your royal vibes." So King Solomon said, "Let's get artsy," and made 200 big OL shields of pure beaten gold, like 600 shekels worth each. Total flex. And then he made 300 more golden shields, slightly lighter but still totally fab, each with 300 shekels of gold. He decked out the house of the forest of Lebanon with those. Gold everywhere, darling. Oh, and his throne? Not just any seat. He made a massive one out of ivory, and then straight up plated it with pure gold. Talk about luxury lounging. It had 6 steps going up to it, a golden footstool, fancy armrests, and 2 fierce golden lions flanking the seat like royal bodyguards. And there were 12 more lions lining the steps, 6 on each side. Like, no other kingdom even thought about going this hard on throne design. Every drinking glass in Solomon's palace? All gold. Every single thing in the forest house? Yep, pure gold. Silver was totally out of style in his day. Basically, gold was the vibe. Every 3 years, King Solomon's ships would totally cruise to Tarshish with Huram's squad. And they'd come back loaded with gold, silver, ivory, actual apes, and like the fanciest peacocks ever. Total exotic treasure haul. And Solomon? He wasn't just rich, he said the richest and wisest dude in the whole world. No one even came close. Literally every king on earth wanted to chill with Solomon just to hear him drop wisdom bombs. It was like God gave him this divine brain upgrade for real. And they didn't show up empty-handed, oh no. They brought him yearly gifts like shiny silver cups, glittering gold stuff, designer clothes, battle gear, delish spices, and fancy horses and mules. Like, Happy Solomon Day every year. Homeboy had 4,000 stalls for his horses and chariots, plus 12,000 horsemen. He kept them all in his chariot cities and some hung out with him in Jerusalem, just in case he needed a royal ride or a quick flex. Solomon ruled over like everyone from the river all the way to the land of the Philistines, even to Egypt's edge. Major territory vibes. Silver was like pebbles in Jerusalem, that common. And cedar trees were as plentiful as the regular sycamores in the lowlands. Basically, everything was luxe. People brought Solomon horses from Egypt and everywhere else. Like, international imports were the norm. Oh, and if you want to read the rest of Solomon's epic adventures, from day one to curtain call, it's all totally written down in the book of Nathan the prophet, plus in Ahijah the Shilonite's prophecies, and Iddo the seer's dreamy visions about Jeroboam. Bonus reading. King Solomon ruled from Jerusalem over all of Israel for 40 legendary years. That's 4 decades of divine vibes. And when his ride here on earth was done, he peacefully zoned out with his ancestors and got buried in the city of his dad, King David. Then his son Rehoboam took over the kingdom, stepping into some royal-sized sandals. 2 Chronicles chapter 10. So Rehoboam cruised over to Shechem, cause everyone in Israel was gathering there to crown him king. Major coronation vibes, you know? Meanwhile, Jeroboam, the guy who dipped out to Egypt to dodge Solomon, totally heard the news and said, time to roll back. So the squad sent for Jeroboam, and he, plus all of Israel, rolled up to Rehoboam and were like, hey, we gotta chat. They were all, dude, your dad made things super heavy on us, like full-on burnout mode. So can you chill things out a bit? Lighten the load and we'll totally serve you. And Rehoboam said, okay, circle back in 3 days, and everyone pieced out to wait for his big answer. Then King Rehoboam said, okay, let's ask the OGS. So he went to the older dudes who used to roll with Solomon and said, what's the move? And the wise bros said, bro, if you're chill and kind to these people, and speak to them with good vibes, they'll totally be your ride or dies forever. But Rehoboam totally ghosted the old dude's advice and instead hit up his own boys. You know, the squad he grew up with, for a hot take. He goes, alright, squad, spill it. What do you think we should say to these peeps who are all like, dude, ease up on us, your dad was intense? Rehoboam's bros, those young dudes he grew up with, were all, okay, here's what you should totally say to the people whining about your dad's heavy vibes. You think that was bad? My pinky finger's thicker than my dad's whole deal. Like for real, they said, your dad whipped you? I'm bringing the sting. I'm coming at y'all with scorpions, bro. So Jeroboam and the whole squad came back on day 3, just like the king had told them, ready for the big reveal. But instead of chill vibes, King Rehoboam came in hot, super harsh, and totally ditched the wise old dude's advice. He was like, y'all thought my dad was tough? I'm doubling down. He whipped you? I'm bringing the scorpion squad, dudes. But real talk, it wasn't just a bad leadership call. This was all part of God's master plan, fulfilling the prophecy that Ahijah the Shilonite had dropped about Jeroboam. When Israel saw that the king wasn't even listening, they were like, no. We've got zero stake in Team David. Everybody bounce, go home y'all. David's crew can deal with themselves. And boom, everyone peaced out. Only the folks still chillin' in Judah's cities stuck with Rehoboam. He was still king, but just over a smaller crew. Then Rehoboam sent this guy Hadaram. He was in charge of the taxes and stuff, but the people were like, so done and totally rocked him with stones. R.I.P. Hadaram. Rehoboam freaked and sped off in his chariot like, I am so outta here. And like, that was it. Israel straight up rebelled against the house of David, and honestly, they've been doing their own thing ever since. Totally wild.